Hello everyone and welcome to another video on this channel, and today we're going to take a look at three stocks that are about to report earnings this week. Today we have Beyond Meat after hours, pre-market tomorrow JD, and after hours tomorrow Soundhound. So first let's take a look at Beyond Meat. Well, they've had a terrible run since the last earnings in February. They had quite a decent run at the beginning of the year, but it's all come down again to almost 11, and that's where the big support will be at $11. 11.03 was the all-time low here of the stock. And also, as you can see in the past, we've bounced off the 11 area a few times before. So that's for the downside levels to watch. On the upside, we are watching the 20-day moving average, which is almost similar to the resistance trend line, which has been formed since the last earnings. So on the upside of good earnings, I'll be definitely watching the levels of around 1340 or 1370. That will be definitely a level to watch, and something we will definitely attack on good earnings. And on the downside, we will be looking at the 11 zone. So looking into the options here, how would that realistically be? So the 11 put is still 50 to 53 cents. That would mean we got to break the all-time low and then move down an additional 50 cents, and from there on you're gonna make money. So I definitely would not be touching the put options here. Also, even the in the money ones right now of 12.50 or barely out of the money 12s are definitely not worth it. On the call side as well, we'd be looking at good earnings going around 13.50, maybe 14. You still got to pay a lot of premium. Maybe the 13 call would be nice and would maybe get you some money if the earnings got to be really nice. But yeah, I'd definitely not be touching it. I would be a seller of these options. I'll be a seller of the calls and the puts, um, given the premiums are so high. And even on the previous earnings here, we only had a 10% increase on that day. So it usually doesn't move too much on earnings recently here as well, not too big of a move. So I'd be definitely be careful buying options on Beyond Meat. Don't be playing options, only stop losses. Please put your stop loss at around 11, because otherwise a new low will be made. And on the upside, a nice level to watch is, as we told, that level here around the moving average of 20 days, and potentially that we break even higher around 14. And then we go to JD.com, and they also don't look very good at the moment. They've dropped dramatically since the beginning of the year. While most stocks have gone up, JD.com has come down quite substantially, and they're now almost breaking above the 20-day moving average, which could be triggered by some decent earnings. So let's check the levels here. On the weekly side, we do see decent support here at around 32 area. Zooming out even more, we also see that that level was briefly touched all the way into 2020. So that's very strong support area there, which I will be watching. So on bad earnings, we could be falling back to that area, 32s, 33s. Approximately maybe maximum a 10% drop on these earnings. On the upside, we could be seeing levels reached of the previous high here, which was at around 39, which would be a nice move up. And for the longer term, if the earnings are going to be good, we'll probably be seeing maybe an attack of the 44 area again. But as you can see, this 50-day moving average will probably in the next few days collide with this resistance. So good earnings, I don't see good earnings be any breaking the stock any higher than around the 39 area. So be careful about that when buying options on the short term, especially the weeklies. Let's see the premiums on the 38s, which is already 57, 59 cents, 37s, 85, 87 cents. Very, very expensive. I don't really see them going 39 or any higher. If I would be buying options, I probably be buying deep in the money options, so they're very expensive. And if the earnings don't go right, you're going to lose all of that. On the put side, we did see that support level here at around 32.50. So then a 33 put could be of some value here if you want to play the short 34 put, you could be making some money, but again, very high premiums. And same as Beyond Meat, I wouldn't be buying the options here. I'd probably be a seller here, selling those puts, selling those calls. As buying, yeah, it's a lot of implied volatility is priced in, and I don't really see it moving that much. Also, in previous earnings here, we did see a big move down, but only 10%. 11% in here, and I don't know if this was real earnings, but we also only saw a very small move. So that's why I would be a seller of these options and not a buyer. If you don't play the options, yeah, put some stop losses at the 32.50 area and take some wins at the 38.50 area. So next up we have Soundhound, and I think this is a very interesting stock in the AI sector. Now they have had a very volatile move over the past few months, and as you can see, they are currently in a very interesting zone where they might be breaking out soon. The earnings could be a nice trigger of that. As you can see, we are here in this wedge where all moving average are in the middle, so that's really exciting time, and we can either break up or break down. Now, on the upside on good earnings, I would watch this level of around 340-ish, which is the level to watch if we were going to have very good earnings. On the somewhat longer time frame on good earnings, I'd be watching the 450 area. Then on the downside, I do see limited downside if the earnings are a little weak. We could be falling back to around 220s, which is around almost a 20% drop, and on a longer term we could fall all the way back to the 150s. Let's check the options then, and they are actually priced really nicely here. If you want to be a buyer of the options, the 3 is only 10 to 15 cents. Now keep in mind that next resistance is at 335, 340, so that would imply that your options will double at least. On the downside, we do see support at the 220, so even the 250 put can still make some nice money and almost double there. So yeah, I do think the options are fairly priced for Soundhound, and the fact they're only 10 to 15 cents, if it doesn't go your way, you don't lose that much compared to buying heavy premiums on stocks like a JD or Beyond Meat. So definitely could be in a very interesting play here. Also want to keep in mind for the people that do not play options, stop loss levels will be around 220, and some profit takings could happen around 335. Really interesting to see where the earnings will go. What do you think about it? Please comment and let me know what you think. And don't forget to give a like and a subscribe. And hope to see you guys in the next video.